It is 6:00 p.m. I call this meeting of the Miami Township Board of Trustees to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Posey,
Present.
Mr. Barry,
Here.
Mr. Culp,
Here.
Chief McCarty, you have the first responder casualties.
I do, sir. I have the first responder casualty list for March 4th, 2025 to March 18th, 2025. Police Officer Felicia Riley, St. Paul Police Department, Minnesota. End of watch, March 1st, 2025. Sergeant Joseph Azona, Newark Police Division, New Jersey, March 8th, 2025. Deputy Sheriff Hector Sebas, Jr., San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, California, March 17th, 2025. And K-9 Azzy, the McKinney Police Department, Texas, end of watch, March 13th, 2025.
Please join me in a moment of silence to honor these fallen first responders. Thank you. You also have our next item on the agenda, the recognition of guests and presentations, and we have a swearing in today.
Yes, sir. Face towards the board. There you go. Fix that one for me. There you go. Good evening, board. I'd like to introduce Officer Morgan Spencer. Officer Spencer was raised in Huber Heights, Ohio. He began his career in criminal justice immediately after high school, starting with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, or ODR&C. Over nearly 2 decades, he worked his way up the ranks, eventually earning his position as a captain, also earning such awards as Officer of the Year and Supervisor of the Year. Seeking to further his career, he attended the Greene County Career Center's Police Academy. After graduating, he began his law enforcement career in the Ross Township Police Department, where he served for a year. Officer Spencer is married with his wife, Gina. Together, they have 5 sons, Troy and Chase Spencer, Braden, Dominic, and Jackson Alexander. With his wife, Gina, with that, his wife, Gina, will pin his badge as he is sworn in with our fiscal officer, Bob Matthews. Gina? I'm sorry, did I say your name wrong? No. Oh, okay. Oh, so I just threw you out in the middle of all this. I got you. Welcome aboard.
For those of you who would like to be excused, we will now be moving into the regular portion of the meeting. I wouldn't ask anybody here for the swearing in. You're welcome to stay, but you're not required to. next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion and one vote of consent. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If a discussion is desired, that item will be removed and from the consent agenda and considered separately. I move to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to new business. We first have a motion for a liquor permit for Fabrigal Enterprises Ltd., DBA La Embajada and Patio. Chief McCarty.
Yes, sir. This is a D1 liquor permit, which is a permit for the sales of beer on and off premises until 1 a.m. This is a new permit, and I don't see any reason that I would object to this permit if approved by the board.
Thank you, Chief McCarty. Administrator Snyder, you have our second item, a motion to declare the winner of the Bicentennial Logo Contest.
Good evening, Board. Again, we do have, okay, you've got it up now. The logo design, following our work session at the previous meeting, this was the logo design that seemed to generate the most comments among the board. We did work with the designer to make a couple of small tweaks to it. The design that you have before you tonight is the design that we are proposing would be the winner of the logo, the Bicentennial Logo Design Contest. If there are any questions from the board, I think the design was in your packet, and certainly if there's any questions, we can go over those, but this seemed to be the design that received the most favorable comments out of all of the designs that were proposed. So,
And I assume Joe will be preparing something indicating the quality of the responses we received and how difficult this challenge was. Thank you. Great. Any other questions regarding the contest? Administrator Snyder, you also have Resolution 2023-2025.
good evening again. Resolution 2023 or 23-2025 is a home rule resolution. Miami Township is a limited home rule local government, and under that authority, we have the ability to take on certain powers that are not necessarily available to regular statutory townships. As part of our ongoing legal review with our new legal counsel, we did request a review of the authority and process upon which we currently enact road closures for community events primarily. This resolution would also cover emergency situations, but is primarily meant to cover these temporary community events where we do have a need in order to protect pedestrians that are attending those events from vehicular traffic. So this resolution would clarify our authority to enact a road closure. It also provides additional guidance to those who are applying for that road closure as to the type of information that they need to provide to the township. It requires review by our police department and the Miami Valley Fire District to ensure that there's adequate ability for emergency services to get through the event, and that they are comfortable with the closure and the ensuing detours that might be generated by that. So again, there's quite a bit of information in your packets tonight regarding this resolution. We do have events that we know are coming up, particularly at Austin Landing in the spring, which is the reason, again, we wanted to get this reviewed and potentially enacted in the near term. So with that, if there are any questions, I'd be happy to go over them. So,
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Mr. McCord, you have Resolution 24-2025.
Good evening, Board. Yes, Resolution 24-2025 is an authorization for salary adjustments for non-union employees. During the compilation of the 2025 operating budget, we included placeholder for a 4% increase that we reviewed in a prior work session to kind of keep pace with the cost of living and the CPI. There was some information as well in the packet as a cover memo. We did include a proposed pay schedule for all positions, all non-union positions within the township for your review. And based on the feedback we incorporated in from the work sessions, we're bringing this tonight for final review and approval.
And just to clarify, one of the results of that work session is that the township pay has significantly lagged the consumer price index since 2013.
That is correct, sir, yes.
Okay, and this does not even come close to the consumer price index adjustments since then on a
Yes.
cumulative basis?
Yes, it's going to be a while.
Thank you.
That is correct.
Any other questions or comments? Mr. Schweikert, you have resolutions 25, 26, 27, and 28.
Good evening, Board. Resolution 25 and 26 are housekeeping items. In previous resolutions and meetings, I discussed that we had sold several large pieces of equipment on GovDeals to internet auction. 25 is to approve those revenue funds and communicate them with the county auditor. Resolution 26 is to utilize those funds in the road and bridge budget, which basically amends the budget, and we can transfer those revenue funds and use them toward the upfit equipment as discussed in previous meetings. For those two items, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Seeing none on those. Resolution 27 is to authorize the township administrator to execute an agreement with the landowners abutting Hartzell Avenue. In this memo, I explained that we've had work sessions before about Hartzell Avenue. Staff has spent significant time trying to work out agreements and communicate with Montgomery County. This was a plat that was developed in 1947, and Hartzell Avenue was suggested in that plat. We have spent time with our law director and Montgomery County going back and forth disputing whether this was a road or not. In short, we have put together an agreement with our law director, and we have the agreement has been signed by both abutting property owners. I'd be happy to pause for resolution 27 if you have any questions about this one.
Nope, you may proceed.
Okay. And then following resolution 27 is resolution 28 is to petition the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners to vacate Hartzell Avenue pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 5553.045. And I would be happy to attend with our law director the hearing at Montgomery County on this petition. Again, be happy to answer any questions regarding this information this evening on Hartzell.
Thank you for your thoroughness.
Thank you.
Mr. McCord, you have resolution 29-2025.
Yes, sir, I do. Resolution 29 is an authorization for a then and now purchase order for professional engineering services. In the work being done on Kings Ridge Drive, we had a timing error in my department, and we got out of order a little bit, so this is for the January work that preceded the actual purchase order that was created in February. So it's $4,300.
Any questions? Thank you. Moving on to the public comments portion. This is the portion of the meeting where you, the residents of Miami Township, are invited to share your thoughts with the board. Please know that this time has been set aside for the board to listen to you. Your comments are valued and will be taken into careful consideration, but the board will not engage in dialogue at this time. Presentations are limited to 5 minutes each. Is there anyone wishing to come forward? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consideration of resolutions and motions. I make a motion to approve the liquor permit for Fabregat Enterprises, DBA La Embajada and Patio. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Berry. Mr. Culp.
I make a motion, we declare the design submitted by Bill Raditz as the winner of the Bicentennial Logo Design Contest. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 23-2025, a resolution to authorize under limited home rule authority emergency road closures and establishing procedures for temporary road closures for parades and special events and declaring an emergency. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 24-2025, a resolution to authorize salary adjustments for non-union employees. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 25-2025, a resolution to approve amendments to the Certificate of Estimated Resources for 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 26-2025, a resolution to approve amendments to the appropriation of funds for 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 27-2025, a resolution authorizing the Miami Township Administrator to execute an agreement with the landowners abutting Hartzell Avenue. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 28-2025, a resolution to petition the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners to vacate Hartzell Avenue pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5553.045. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
I make a motion we adopt Resolution 29-2025, a resolution to approve then and now purchase order for professional engineering services. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Barry,
Aye.
Mr. Culp,
Aye.
Having concluded the resolutions and motions, we'll move into department head comments.
I'll
Chief-
second that. Oh,
Yeah, appreciate your readiness, though. Chief McCarty.
No comments today, Board. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Schweikert.
Just one brief comment. We're getting back into the utility right-of-way season with all the fiber installations going on in our community. I've been working closely with the street supervisor and also the community development director, and I look forward to bringing a fee schedule and updated right-of-way permit to the board. Just real brief, as you know, staff spends pretty significant amount of time reviewing these installations, helping residents get restoration back on a lot of the damage that does happen in our community. So we feel that there should be some sort of compensation for our time being out in the community, making sure that we're holding these utility companies accountable. So I look forward to bringing something to the board here in the near future.
Thank you, Mr. Schweikert. Mr. Carlson.
Two quick things, Board. Related to the purchase order that Finance Director McCord introduced tonight, the Kings Ridge engineering project is underway. So we're very excited after a long process with ODOT to get that started. The plan is to bring back regular updates to the board for just kind of quick updates on some of the recommendations. There are some structural changes that will happen to Kings Ridge, potential driveway combinations, relocations, things that will impact our businesses, but also our residents and the traffic, ideally for the better, for the safety of everyone on Kings Ridge Drive. So we just want to keep you aware of some of those changes as the engineering comes along. And certainly prior to public input, we will host certain public workshops and meetings to make sure that the public has an opportunity to say, hey, I walk here every day and these are things I experience, so this is maybe a way to change this for the better. So again, excited and appreciative of the board for all the work leading up to getting the engineering done. And then secondly, just want to briefly introduce Zach Burleson over here. Zach is the new planner for Miami Township. Wanted to come and witness a Board of Trustees meeting and see some of the business that we do here. Zach in his day-to-day works with residents and businesses on zoning permits and plan review for staff support for Board of Zoning Appeals, Zoning Commission. And we're fortunate Zach also brings a great amount of experience in ArcGIS as remapping. So Zach is working to revamp our mapping systems and is already in his first month working with fire district, police department, and just about anybody who could use mapping services. So we're really excited to have Zach on the team.
Great. Mr. McCord.
I do not have anything further.
And last but certainly not least, Administrator Snyder.
Thank you. I do have a few comments tonight. One, I wanted to note, and myself, along with Communications Manager Jill Drury, had the privilege this week to recognize several of our employees at Miami Township for their years of service, and that included Susie Mosley over at the Police Department with 20 years of service, Officer Rankins with 10 years of service, Shelley Shanks with 5 years of service, Chris Coomer at Public Works with 10 years of service, and Andrew Brooks with 5 years of service. We certainly appreciate all of the dedication that these employees have shown to Miami Township and to the residents of Miami Township over the years, and I look forward to working with them for many more years. So, also want to thank, again, everyone who submitted an entry to the Bicentennial Logo Contest. We're very excited to get the responses that we did to that contest. We had a lot of great entries. I know the board spent a bit of time looking over in detail the proposals that were submitted, and we appreciate the effort that everyone put into that, and we look forward to the next steps in planning for our bicentennial. Finally tonight, I do want to note, and again, we have posted on our website and social media, I believe, through Jill, that there is a statewide tornado drill tomorrow, Wednesday, March 19th at 9:50 a.m. So if you were not aware of that, this is Weather Awareness Week. Again, remember to designate a safe space in your home for a weather emergency and practice your family's emergency plan to seek shelter. So that is all I have tonight.
Thank you, Administrator Snyder. Moving on to elected official comments. Mr. Matthews.
On April 16th, we're going to have 2 sessions down in the community room for the residents to learn how to protect their titles to their house against title fraud. I think Jill is going to put that out for us in the newsletter, and I'll see if there's some other ways we can get the word out. It's being done by the Montgomery County Recorder's Office. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Culp.
None.
Mr. Berry.
I'd like to welcome Zach to the township. Thank you for being here and look forward to seeing your work.
I will echo his comments. I like the days when we get to welcome new employees and then commemorate some of the anniversaries. So it's nice to see that. With that, the only remaining item on the agenda is a work session for which we'll be conducting in the conference room. We will be adjourning from the work session without conducting further business. Thank you.